Hello traders, welcome back to the channel. On the previous video we covered market structure, and today we are going to be covering break of market structure and change of characters. Let's get to it. Right here we have our market structure. This side is showing bullish structure and that side is showing bearish structure. Now you will agree with me that the market will not forever continue on a bullish structure, and it will not forever continue on a bearish structure. So it gets to a point where the market will have to change direction, and in a bullish structure, as we now know, that the market keeps on creating higher highs on the high side and it keeps on creating higher lows on the low side. It gets to a point where the market will have to change direction and it will have to go on now a bearish structure where the market will be forming higher lows and lower lows. Right now the market gives us signs before it does those changes, and it also gives us signs that shows us that it is still continuing on the upside if it is in a bullish market structure. Now when the market is moving on a bullish market structure and it keeps on creating higher highs, for the market to be able to create a high which is higher than the previous one, it means that the market will have to go higher than that previous high. Now when the market gets to a point where it passes the previous high that it had created and it forms another one, we refer to that as a breakout structure. Now a breakout structure occurs at a point where the market passes the previous high to create a new high, and when that happens we draw a line and we refer to that line as a breakout structure line. Right now the market will continue breaking structure as long as it wants to create a new high. It will break structure and create that new high. Right now this breakout structure only happens on a high side. We do not have breakout structure on the low side. I cannot come here and say because here I've created a new low which is higher than the previous low, it means that this point here is called breakout structure. No, we don't have that. Breakout structure in a bullish market structure only happens on the high side. Right now that's breakout structure. We'll continue to have this breakout structure, like I said, as long as the market is on an uptrend. So to come from this point to form another point, we have to break this structure first, and this structure is being broken here. Now there will be times where you find the market doing this, going up, and you come here, you find that there's a candle here, and the wick of this candle is the one that goes up, right? But the candle itself does not break structure. We do not refer to that as a breakout structure. A breakout structure will only be a breakout structure if this whole candle comes and break this previous structure with its body. Now that will be referred to as a breakout structure. But in a case where you find a candle comes here and its wick is the one that goes up there and break this structure, we do not refer to this as a breakout structure. Right, and I will show you an example of that when we go to the chart. Now on a bearish market, we draw breakout structures on the low side only. We do not draw breakout structure on the top side. Right, that's on the bearish market. Still on the bearish market, when the market wants to establish a new lower low, it will have to break the structure of the previous lower low, and the point where this lower low was broken by the body of the candle, we call this a breakout structure. Right, and these breakout structures will continue to happen as long as this market is still on a bearish or structure or a downtrend. Right Now, when you find the market that wants to change direction from a bullish structure to a bearish structure, we will have another break of structure that will happen. Now, this break of structure, we refer to it as change of character. Right now, this change of character happens where you find a market continuing to form higher lows and higher lows, and out of nowhere, all of a sudden, instead of us having another higher low here and another one there so that our market can continue upwards, you find that we now have a lower low out of nowhere, right? In our minds, we know that we have to continue forming higher lows and higher lows and higher lows, meaning this low should be higher than the previous one so that we can continue on a bullish structure. But instead of continuing on a bullish structure, we find ourselves now forming a lower low instead of a higher low, right? Now, when this happens, the point at which this happens, we come and draw a line and say this higher low was broken, was violated, and when the market broke it, it came and created a low, right? This is called a change of character. Now, when this change of character happens, you find that the market just now continues to form lower lows and lower lows. This means that we are now on a bearish market structure, right? Let me go to the chart and show you how this breakout structure and change of character looks on a real life situation. So here we are on a Euro USD chart. This is a 4 hours time frame, and you can see that here this is a bullish structure or an uptrend, and here this is an uptrend because we keep on creating higher highs, and a high which is higher than that one is another high higher than the previous one, and another high higher than the previous one, and so on and so forth, right? Now, right on this chart, you can see that this high was broken here. We have a breakout structure right here. This breakout structure happened here to create a new high, and you can see that this breakout structure right here is happening by the body of the candle. Let me change this to an arrow so that I can show you. This breakout structure here was created by this candle here, right? And you have a situation where you find a breakout structure being created by the wick, right? Here, like in this example, we have this high here which is being broken by this wick. But like I said to you guys, we do not consider this as a breakout structure. We will have to wait to find a situation where the market is being broken by the body of the candle, like in this situation here, and we will take this as our breakout structure, right? And right here we have this high here. This high is also being violated or broken by this candle right here, and we will refer to this as a breakout structure. And you see here that the market keeps on breaking structure as long as it's creating higher highs, right? So this was a high right here. This high was violated by this breakout structure to create this high right here, and you can see to create this high we had to violate this previous high here by a breakout structure, and we created this high this high right here. And after creating that high right there, we had to violate this high right here. We had to violate it right here so that we can create another high right here. Right now, we continue to do so as long as we are in a uptrend. Right now, you see this high right here was also violated by the candle here to create a new high. Let me just name this so that you see that we are in a breakout structure. We created this new high right here, and this new high was violated right here by this candle, and you can see that we are continuing to do so, and this is our last high right here. This high is the last high that we have right here, and now we are expecting the market to come here and create another high for us, and another high and another high, so that we can keep on marking our areas of breakout structure, right? But what do we see? We see the market coming here and creating a low, right? Now I will show you here. I will show you, this is the last high that we had. Instead of having another high which is higher than it, we see the market becoming a low here, and there is a name that we have for this, and this is called an SMS, where you are expecting to see a high, but instead of seeing a high you see a low. You draw a line to join them and you call it an SMS. SMS means shift in market structure. Right? Now, after having this shift in market structure, this simply means that we were expecting to have a high, but we didn't have this high right here because the market created a high which is lower than the previous high, meaning we are shifting the structure from a bullish to a bearish structure. Now, when that happens, we change direction. We no longer have our breakout structure on the top anymore. Our breakout structure now starts happening at the bottom because we are having a different type of breakout structure right here that we refer to as a change of character. Now, this change of character will be marked from this low right here. We'll mark it from this low right here, and we'll mark it here, right? So this is our change of character. Now, from this change of character, you will see that the market now starts creating lower lows. It doesn't create higher lows like it was doing here. This is a low which is higher than the previous one. The market here was creating higher low, and it was creating higher highs on the upside, right? These are higher highs that were violated, and I showed you earlier. Now you see now here the market stops creating these market structure formations, and it starts creating lower lows, and it creates lower lows continually because we have changed structure. This is now a bearish structure instead of a bullish structure that we were on, right? Now in this bearish structure, you see that the market will now be violating structure on the downside. This is a low. Now this low was broken here. It was violated by this breakout structure to create this other lower low here, which was also violated right here by this candle to create a new low. Let's mark it. Here's a low violated by this candle right here to create a new low, and right here we created the new low. This new low as well was violated by this candle right here, right? Now here's something that you have to note. You can see that I skipped this low right here because this low right here did not break this structure out here, right here, right? You see the structure is here, and this low did not get to this structure. It did not break it, and even if it came all the way down here, I was not going to consider it because this was going to be breaking it by the wick of the candle. We only want to consider market structure that is being broken by the body of the candle. Okay. So you can see that this change of character happened here, and now from a uptrend we went to a downtrend. From a bullish market structure we went to a bearish market structure. So now that is what breakout structure looks like, and that is what change of character looks like. Now breakout structure, as I've explained, is responsible for continuing with the trend or with the structure. Like you can see, this breakout structure is responsible for continuing with this bullish market structure. Right here, the breakout structure is responsible for continuing with this bearish market structure. But change of characters is responsible for change from bullish structure to bearish structure. Right. So I think this was enough to give you an understanding about breakout structure and change of character, and this will be the end of our video here. If you have any questions, you can feel free to type the questions in the comment section below, and I will address your questions as soon as I see them, or even create a new video for you guys to address the questions that I have received. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next video.